Hello there. More and more Italians are realising they have a job to do, and that is to wrest control of their country back from their EU overlords. As the Italian coalition government fails before it is even formed, the country faces yet another election, possibly as soon as August or maybe early 2019. This situation was brought about by the Italian president, Sergio Mattarella, vetoing the appointment of the anti-EU Paolo Savona as finance minister, leading to the resignation of the Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte, who had only taken office just 4 days earlier. The Italian president has asked former economist Carlo Cottarelli to lead a new caretaker government of unelected appointees in the meantime. For his part, Mr. Cottarelli has said his government will continue Italy's essential EU and eurozone rules and to manage the public accounts prudently. So the Italians can expect more of the same for the next 3 to 6 months, which may not overly please them. But the critical bit is that the next elections in Italy could well be a vote on the euro, if not the EU as a whole, with Matteo Salvini, the leader of one of the coalition parties, Lega, saying, "The upcoming elections will not be political, but instead a real and true referendum between who wants Italy to be a free country and who wants it to be servile and enslaved." Sound familiar? And Reuters reports Francesco Gaglietti, head of the political risk consultancy Policy Sonar in Rome, as saying, "The election is going to resemble a referendum de facto on the European Union and the euro. It's an existential threat for the entire eurozone." And with fears that Brussels had a hand in recent events leading to the non-formation of an anti-EU government in Italy, one can see where this might lead. Anyway, in good EU tradition, the Italians will vote again and be given the chance to come up with the right EU line-towing answer. But I hope the Italian voters view this whole thing for what it is: the EU and their own establishment getting together to ensure Italy does its part in keeping the EU Ponzi scheme afloat, and give them a shock and start taking back control of their own country by giving a thumping mandate to the anti-EU parties. The euro has slipped a little on all of this news, showing that the markets are not entirely happy with this situation, especially with the possibility of Eurosceptic parties gaining more traction in the run-up to another Italian election. And while all that is going on, you might have missed that the EU is slashing funding to countries that fail to toe the Brussels line. As they stare into the yawning black hole in the EU budget caused by Brexit, the Brussels bureaucrats are looking set to pull about £26 billion worth out of funding for Central and Eastern Europe, says the Express. Although the precise figures have yet to be finalised, it looks like Poland will get 23% less, a cut of about £17 billion for them, while Hungary, the Czech Republic, Estonia and Lithuania are looking at 24% cuts. And where is the money going? It is being reallocated to give Spain an extra 5%, Greece another 8%, and Italy another 6.4%. Countries like Belgium, Sweden, Denmark and the Netherlands are having their allocations protected at current levels. In all, according to the report, the Baltic and Visegrad states will get about £33 billion less in the next budget period, whilst Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece and Cyprus will get an increase of £3.22 billion. But in its rush to punish recalcitrant states for their shortcomings, the EU has forgotten that it is the citizens of those countries that will end up being the ones getting hurt. Now, the Eurocrats might be hoping that the little people will take it out on their own elected representatives and vote the right way next time, but looking at what's going on around the EU at the moment, they are probably more likely to vent their collective spleens on the EU. And the fund from which all this comes from is called the cohesion budget. I can see cohesion getting a bit of a bashing in the months ahead, don't you? Now that Brexit-backing founder of the Wetherspoon pub chain, Tim Martin, has berated the PM for her weakness and said her negotiating strategy was putting the country at risk. He wants her to be ready to refuse to hand over the $39 billion so-called Brexit divorce bill and prepare for a no-deal Brexit, says The Express. And The Telegraph reports that the UK and US are to sign an open skies agreement this summer. 4 sources in London and Washington briefed on the talks have said a deal is close after consensus was reached on the biggest issues up for debate, says the paper. Finally, a thought for the day. The Republic of Ireland held a referendum where the majority voted to ease the restrictions on abortion, and the result is being heralded by the liberal elite as a victory for democracy. Yet another referendum held in the UK, where we came to a majority decision, is being held up by that same liberal elite as a failure of democracy. Go figure, but it won't take you long. So what do you think? Please let us all know by leaving a comment below. Thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.